Today on Book Reviews, we're going to talk about my idol and spirit animal, Augustus. Nope. No. Hell no! That's better. Oh, Antony and Cleopatra. You're like the Godfather Part 3 to Julius Caesar. You're like the outcast uncle nobody likes that just sort of hangs around at family reunions. You really are one of Shakespeare's most obscure works, but are you really deserving of that reputation? Before we talk about Augustus, or Octavius as he's known at this time, I guess we have to talk about the titular protagonists. Mark Antony's the same guy we left off with at Julius Caesar. And, just like before, he's really not a bad guy, but he's not really a good guy either. Just like the tragic hero Brutus before him, he has his own flaws and insecurities. And all those flaws are conveniently wrapped into one person, Cleopatra. Antony and Cleopatra are certainly a couple, but their love isn't as innocent and frothy as it was in like Romeo or Juliet or something. No, their relationship is propelled by lust, and throughout the play, they both try to outmaneuver each other for total dominance in the relationship. It's a questionable rom-com from ancient antiquity! Aside from that, we have Antony's ongoing struggle for domination in Rome. He controls the easternmost third of it. A guy named Lepidus controls Africa and the western colonies, while Octavius controls Rome itself and Gaul. Don't worry, we'll get to Octavius. As for Lepidus, he's a guy. I don't know, he's just kind of there. You'll see. So, while Antony's trying to wrestle control away from them, pirates are ravaging through the Mediterranean. They're led by Sextus Pompeius, the son of Caesar's old rival Pompey. As you can see, there's a lot of different things going on in this play. Awesome things, but complex nevertheless. I haven't even gotten to Antony's wife leading a rebellion against Octavius, Antony's internal struggle with honor, and Enobarbus, one of Antony's aides who ultimately betrays him. It's a very cluttered drama, even by Shakespearean standards, and it isn't helped by a lot of the action not being able to be produced on stage, like naval battles. We have to rely on messengers coming from offstage to tell us this information. And I think we all know that witnessing action and hearing about it are two very different things. Now let's all stop being negative Nancy's and focus on the positive parts of this play. And his name is Octavius Caesar. Just saying his name makes you know that things are about to get for real up in here. Now in contrast, Antony was a good villain in Julius Caesar. He's a three-dimensional character who really didn't seem like a bad guy, and it's pretty easy to make him a protagonist in his own story, hence Antony and Cleopatra. Octavius Caesar is a different story. He's not vulnerable like Antony was. Here, he's very methodical and calculating. He sends Lepidus into exile pretty easily, even though he's politically just as strong as he is. All the while he courts the populace of Rome, flooding the streets with propaganda against the hedonist queen, Cleopatra, and her dishonorable king Antony. Where Antony represented defiance to Brutus, Octavius represents inevitability. It isn't a matter of if Octavius will be victorious over Antony, it's a matter of when, and how long it will take before Antony is broken. The inevitability of Antony's defeat is even noted in the play by a soothsayer, because God knows this isn't a Roman tragedy without a soothsayer nobody listens to. But Octavius doesn't stop there. You know when Macbeth turned evil, he was kind of a dick to everyone and it really wasn't a surprise when the people revolted and he was killed? In Octavius' case, it's just the opposite. He treats the public with respect. And while Antony's boozing it up in Egypt, he's efficiently running a country. Yeah, he's kind of a jerk to Lepidus, but let's be real, the guy's a piece of toast anyway, and nobody really cares about Lepidus. It becomes very hard to argue that Rome would be better off with Antony in charge compared to Octavius. Even at the end of the play, when Antony and Cleopatra kill themselves, Caesar doesn't just bask in his victory. No, he orders a full military tribute to them. Now that's just class to a fallen foe right there. Of course, beneath the characters and subplots, there's morals and whatnot, because this is Shakespeare. It essentially boils down to East versus West. Masculine Rome versus feminine Egypt. Order in Rome versus freedom in Egypt. You get the idea. Rome is efficient and relentless, while Egypt is more of a sexy but unrealistic paradise. And yes, I just used the word sexy in a Shakespeare review. So what's the final verdict on Antony and Cleopatra? Probably a out of 10. Again, there's a lot to study with the complex plot, but considering that Julius Caesar brought just as many ideas to the table with a lot more straightforward of a plot, it's easy to consider it superior. Now, in the glorious name of Augustus, like, comment, and subscribe. Or just subscribe, I really don't care.